Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. Hold on one second, everyone. Ooh, that felt gross. Okay. Any case, so hopefully you all have been having a wonderful week wherever you're at. So we're going to be jumping, of course, into the brawl format to play another deck that's focused on one of the 5 schools here on Strixhaven. But what school are we going to be playing with today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into right now and show you exactly what we're going to be playing with today. Awesome. So without further ado, once again, join me today in the brawl format as we jump into silverquill here, and we're hoping to be prepared for this awesome 2-for-1 deck. So the game plan is going to be focused around Abigale, Poet, Laureate here, which we'll talk about in just a second. But we're going to go over the stats of the deck real quick. We'll then cover every single card in this budget deck, and we'll play as many matches as we can in best of 1 format for the brawl. And of course, once we get halfway through the stream, we'll then go over, of course, an upgraded version of the deck if you actually do like what we're playing with today. So let's go ahead, let's begin with the actual stats of the deck, because long-time viewers don't know how we do it. We do have to talk about the stats of the deck before we actually dive right in. So be prepared here is going to be, well, I mentioned earlier, it's going to be black and white, or I guess I would say, well, for old school players, it would be, what, Orzhov? But I guess we're playing Silverquill? I don't know. Whatever you want to call the 2-color combination. Either way, it's still going to be rocking an average mana curve about 2.7. In total, we have 29 creatures in the deck. We have 13 instants, 15 sorceries, 3 enchantments, and 39 lands. So the interesting twist I'm actually going to do on this one today, which I thought was going to be a fun one, was we actually put together an entire Silverquill deck, literally utilizing only the cards from the Strixhaven sets. So that's actually how we're going to make this as budget as possible. I think the price I was able to get this all the way down to was a nice little, what is it, $26, $27? That's actually cheaper than the pre-con itself. So if you actually want something that's as cheap as you can make it, this is going to be the deck for you, everyone. But otherwise, as I mentioned, all the cards in here you can see can only be gained from the Silverquill original set that came out 5 years ago, and the other Silverquill set, the one that just came out right now, Secrets of Strixhaven. So that's actually nice how we're able to put together something that's on theme, and also, again, as budget as we can. But anyways, circling back over to our main star of the show, Abigale, Poet, Laureate here. She's a 3-mana, 2/3 Bird Bard. I was about to say Beard Bard, but Bird Bard. Bird Bard. Gotta remember that. Anyways, she has flying, and it says, whenever you cast a creature spell, Abigale becomes prepared. Now, her prepared side here, as her secondary spell, is going to be Heroic Stanza here, allowing you to put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature. You can pay either hybrid mana of white or black, and just one of any color. So that's actually kind of nice that little by little, it will be slow moving, but she can slowly but surely build up and strengthen any one creature that she would like to. Even she can put the counter on herself, which is kind of neat. So that's how we're going to be focusing on building our deck today. We want to put +1/+1 counters on stuff here, and we want to make sure we can keep casting creature spells to make sure we can fill out our game plan. So in order to do that, covering now the 1-drop slot here, we're going to be utilizing Clever Luomancer. So this is also going to be harkening back to what we had originally from the plane when we first dropped into Strixhaven. So we're going to use this card here that has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So this is kind of be a nice little way to start doing some extra damage. Notice that also the cards we've actually used for the deck actually are perfectly on theme. So that's actually kind of one of the sweet things I liked, was able to pull off with this deck, which was each one of these are literally only Silverquill art cards. And also, we're going to try to keep that on theme as much as possible. I know that kind of feels like it may restrict the deck a bit, but actually the deck works pretty well. I mean, I got at least like 2 wins off of it before we started today's stream. Okay, rambling aside, we also going to utilize here Daydream. So again, you can exile a creature you control, then return that creature to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. You can also flash it back for 2. Actually, I'm not sure. I realize now technically this is a lore hold card, but I'm too lazy to swap it out. You'll just keep it as is. Just keep it as is. Okay, Elite Interceptor here. Human Wizard enters prepared, and then with its Rejoiner sorcery side, you can then tap or untap a creature, then draw a card. So again, tempo play, and good for that. Graduation Day here has Repartee, which is also one of the Silverquill abilities here. It's an enchantment that reads, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a specific creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So this is actually kind of nice because you can start putting up counters over and over again with this ability. It's actually kind of sweet because this will get more value as the game progresses. Guiding Voice here, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and then you can hit Learn. Well, granted, with the Learn ability, we can't really use it that much in Brawl because this requires a sideboard. We can also utilize the secondary ability, which is kind of a smart way to build this card. If you can't pull something out from outside the game, you simply just discard a card and draw a card. So that's kind of nice with Guiding Voice, kind of helps us filter through our deck. We have Helping Hand here. One of them, the Mystical Archives. We can then bring back a creature card with mana value of 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Requisition right here, since it is technically part of the set with the Mystical Archives, we were going to throw it in. You can use it to destroy an artifact, enchantment, or put +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. Star Pupil here, allowing us to put +1/+1 counters on it, and if it dies, you can put those counters onto any other creature you control. Dissection Practice here allows us to then make an opponent lose 1 life, and we gain 1 life. Up to 1 target creature gets +1/+1, and up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. I realize also, some of these cards actually, I guess I was trying to go really hard with the silverquill theming, but I guess some of them slipped by me that technically don't fit the theme, but I'm too lazy to fix it. Either way, you get the idea. It still works with the deck. It still works. Lash of Malice here. Target creature gets +2/-2 until end of turn. So you can use this as either a pump spell or you can use this as a removal. Lecturing Scorn Mage here. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery that targets a creature with the repartee ability, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So she will get pumped up as the game progresses. Masterful Flourish here. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 and indestructible. So it's a nice protection spell. Beaming Defiance here. So for 2 mana here, we can get +2/+2 and hexproof on a creature to protect it until end of turn. Eager First Year here. Whenever you cast Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, a creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So Magecraft again. Harsh Annotation here. You can destroy a creature and it leaves behind an Inkling token that's a 1/1. Informed Ink right here. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery that targets a creature, put a +1/+1. Create a 1/1 white and black creature token with flying. I gotta really slow myself down here. But any case, you get the idea. It helps us go wide with the deck. Leonin Light Scribe here. Whenever we cast or copy an instant or sorcery, get +1/+1 to all creatures until end of turn. So it has Magecraft as well. Quill Blade Laureate here. 2 mana, human cleric. She has double strike. She enters prepared. With its twofold intent side, with sorcery speed, you can give a creature +1/+0 and double strike until end of turn. So nice way to pump up one of our creatures. Shattered Acolyte here is a Dwarf Warlock. It has lifelink, but you can sacrifice it instant speed to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Show of Confidence here. Whenever you cast a spell, you can copy this for each other instant or sorcerer spell you've cast in a turn, and you can choose new targets for each of the copies. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and it gains Vigilance until end of turn. So even a couple of copies, 2 or 3, would be sweet to then just pump up part of our team and help them go big. Bitter Triumph here allows us to then discard a card, or we pay 3 life to destroy a creature or planeswalker. Last Grasp here, and then also more spot removal. -3/-3 to a creature until end of turn. Melancholic Poet here for repartee. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery that targets a creature, we can make an opponent lose 1 life, and we gain 1 life. Scheming Silvertongue here. For 2 mana, it's a Vampire Warlock with flying and lifelink. And at the beginning of your second main phase, if you've gained 2 or more life in a turn, this creature enters prepared, and its prepared side is Sign in Blood. So a classic spell allows us to draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Den Splendid, you have finally arrived. Hello, Den Splendid. How are you doing today? Good to see you again. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Appreciate you being here, by the way. Well, here, Fracture, destroying artifacts, enchantments, or planeswalkers. Inkling Mascot here is an Inkling Cat. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery with the repartee ability, this creature will gain flying until end of turn as long as that spell targets a creature. Killian, Inked Duelist here. We actually are going to build a deck around him specifically for a future ultra budget deck, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Any case, he's actually really, really sweet for the deck because spells you cast that target a creature, and it doesn't have to be ours, by the way, can be 2 less to cast. So many of our spells here that are like 3 mana, 2 mana can sometimes go all the way down to 1, which is a really nice ability with Killian here. Killian's Confidence. So 2 mana, sorcery. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and we draw a card. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, if this is in the graveyard, you can pay any color of white or black, and if we do, bring this card back from our graveyard to our hand. So this is a nice little spell to kind of hopefully just churn out more value as the game continues. Scolding Administrator here. Dwarf Cleric, repartee also has on it. So as long as we are targeting a creature, we get a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And if this creature dies, if it had counters on it, put those counters onto another creature. So we can just keep transferring stuff over as this creature gets bigger. Silverquill Apprentice here. Human Warlock with also Magecraft. As long as we're casting or copying spells, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. We also have Silverquill Charm here. A new charm, by the way. You can choose one. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature, or exile a creature with power 2 or less, or make sure you can hit your opponent for 3, and then we can gain 3 life. Vanishing Verse, which is a really powerful spell against monocolored decks, or at least monocolored creatures. You can exile that permanent. We are going to utilize here Environmental Sciences. It's a lesson card. It's colorless, allowing us to dig out a basic and putting it into our hand, and we can gain 3 life. In the 3-drop slot, we'll have Rehearsed Debater here, 3 mana for a 3/3 Djinn Bard, has Vigilance and Repartee. As long as we're casting an instant or sorcery that targets a creature, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Sparring Regimen here. When this enchantment enters, you get to learn. So again, discard a card, draw a card in this instance, and whenever we attack, put a +1/+1 counter on the creature, and you can untap it. So it will get one creature bigger and bigger as the game goes on. Stirring Hope Singer here, 3 mana, 1/3 Bird Bard, flying and repartee. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery that targets a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control. This is a great way to help us go super wide and big with our deck if we can hopefully go and finish off our opponent. Emeritus of Truce. So this is one of the Emerituses we were able to afford. It's actually pretty cheap, by the way, so grab a copy while you can. But this is actually pretty solid. So 3 mana, 3/3 Cat Cleric. When this creature enters, target player creates a Inkling creature token with flying. Then, if an opponent controls more creatures than you, this creature also becomes prepared. If it becomes prepared, it has Swords to Plowshare as its ability. So you can then cast it to then exile a creature and gain life, and its controller will gain life equal to its power. So pretty good overall for spot removal, or if you just want to, again, just get that ability. Cost of Brilliance here, Sorcery Speed to allow you to draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Umbral Juke here. At instant speed, you can then choose a player can sacrifice a creature or planeswalker of their choice, and then create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying. The only tricky part about this deck is trying to keep track of which specific tokens you're going to be making, because the new and it's not a huge deal, but just an FYI. So for the new where is it at? Oh yeah, so yeah, the new Inkling tokens are just 1/1 flyers, but the old Inkling tokens are 2/1 flyers. That's totally not confusing, by the way. Imperious Ink Mage here. When it enters, you get Surveil 2. It's an Orc Warlock that has Vigilance. It's a 3/3. Snooping Page here, 3 mana, 2/3 Human Cleric with also Repartee. Once again, if you're casting instants or sorceries that target a specific creature, this creature also can't be blocked for a turn. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you can draw 1 card and lose 1 life. Social Snub here is 3 mana, sorcery. When you cast a spell while you control a creature, you can copy the spell, and then you can then sacrifice a creature of their choice. Each opponent will lose 1 life, and you gain 1 life. So again, it can be good for nice edict effects. Shadewing Laureate here. 3 mana, 2/2 Human Warlock with flying. Whenever another creature you control with flying dies, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. We have a colorless spell here. It's a Lesson Expanded Anatomy from the original Strixhaven set. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on a target creature, and it gains Vigilance till end of turn. Introduction to Prophecy here. Another classic card from the original Strixhaven set. You can scry 2 and then draw a card. Honor-bound Page here in the 4-drop slot. Cat Cleric, first strike. It enters prepared, and then has Forum's Favor. So then gives target creature +1/+0 and flying until end of turn. Ink-Shaped Demonstrator here, 4 mana, Elephant Cleric with Ward 2 and Repartee. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery that targets a creature, this creature gets +1/+0 and lifelink until end of turn. Tenured Inkcaster here. It does get modified from alchemy nerfs and buffs, don't ask why, but also it's a Vampire Warlock. It's a 3/3. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Eternal Student here, 4 mana, Zombie Warlock, 4/2. If this ends up in the graveyard, you can exile it from your graveyard to create 2 Inkling tokens with flying. Zombify here just brings back any creature we control from the graveyard to the battlefield. Exhilarating Elocution here, so 4 mana. I don't know why I said 4, but anyways, well, 2. You get what I'm saying. Words are hard, by the way. Sorcery Speed, 4 mana. To put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, and then other creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Silverquill command, we got to throw in, of course, the command itself. So you get to choose 2 abilities with this. You can either give a creature +3/+3 and flying until end of turn. Return a creature card with a mana value of 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Target creature draws a card and lose 1 life, or target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. Councillator's Duelist here, so 4 mana, 4/3 Core Warlock. Ugh. Sorry, folks. Okay, moving on. Repartee also on this one. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery that targets a creature, exile it to 1 target creature and bring it back to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So nice little blink effect, which is nice. Dramatic Finale here. So I like this card also. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1, and then whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control dies, you get to create an Inkling token, but you can only do this once each turn. Scathing Shadelock here, 5 mana, Snake Warlock. It has at the beginning of your first main phase, this creature can become prepared. And then on the sorcery star, give one creature you control +2/+0 and Death Touch until end of turns, which is really sweet. Closing Statement here, 5 mana for an instant. However, this will be 2 less to cast if you can during your end step. You can destroy a creature or planeswalker you don't control, and then put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. As long as we can get this kind of cheaper, this is actually pretty good value. Stirring Honormancer here, so 5 mana, 4/5 Rhino Bard. When this creature enters, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of creatures you control. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So it just helps us dig out a creature. Introduction to Annihilation here, another colorless spell. It's a lesson that allows us to exile a non-land permanent, and then its controller can draw a card. At 6 mana here, we have Forum Necroscribe here. So this is a Troll Warlock. It has Ward of discard a card and repartee. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this is going to be a nice little graveyard recursion if we can keep this going. Moment of Reckoning here, our final card at the top end of our curve here. You can choose up to 4, and then you may choose the same mode more than once. Destroy a non-land permanent, or bring a non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Man, if you can record this, this is actually a pretty sweet card. Now, as far as the rest of the budget goes, it's going to be, again, as cheap as we can. So 16 plains, 16 swamps, Forma of Amenity, Shattered Sanctum, Shine Shadow Snarl. You try saying that 5 times fast. Silverquill Campus, Archway Commons, Sky Coach Waypoint here. This helps us, again, re-prepare certain creatures that can't prepare themselves. And finally, 1 Terramorphic Expanse, because this is all we can afford in the actual budget itself. But that is otherwise the whole deck for you, everyone. Being prepared in Silverquill. So, can this ultra budget build actually get us any wins at all? Or am I getting way too cheap with the budget? Well, only one way to find out, so let's go ahead, let's get this started, everyone. I'm kind of excited to see if our cheapest brawl deck we've ever built so far can actually get some wins. I'm hoping it will. And even like 1 or 2 wins at this level will actually be pretty sweet. But okay, there you go, everyone. Once again, as always, appreciate you guys hanging in there for the entire deck tech itself. I know it takes a while for me to get through those, but I still appreciate you just the same. But also, while we're waiting for our opponent to arrive, how's everyone's week been going so far, everyone? Y'all been having fun? What have you been up to this week? Let me know, everyone. I would love to hear from you guys. All right, still waiting on our opponent here. All right, get our game face on. We are locking in for the first game for today, everyone. Ooh, also, they're playing Quandrix also. That's cool. Nice little on flavor here for us versus our opponents. Okay, so let's see. If we can draw into white mana, this is actually not too shabby. But if we don't, then we're kind of be sputtering a bit. On the other hand, we do have a free mulligan, so maybe we could just use that. Okay. A little low still on mana, but that's not fine. We can keep this. We can make this work. The Snarl. We will show off the swamp. Real talk, though, Snarls honestly should just be uncommons at this point. They're not very good lands, but if they're a budget, they're actually not too shabby. Okay, let's see. How do we want to do this? We'll put out Skuldring Administrator. It has Menace, so we can at least get in some early damage if this can go off. Bond and Card 64, happy Friday. Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us here. All right, our first of many prepared cards. So hopefully, if we can get out Killian, then these prepared cards will get much more better value. Okay, one's got Forest, Quandrix the Proof. I'm still debating what we want to do for Quandrix, though, because I want to make sure we can have something fun, but also at the same time, I don't want to tread too much common ground. I always feel like I always end up doing that with these colors. But to be fair, honestly, Quandrix still feels kind of boring to me. It just feels like they're not doing enough unique stuff that I would like to see out of a deck itself. All right, so in the meantime here, let us... What do we want to do here? I guess we'll just bring out Abigale now. Unless our opponent has a counterspell. Of course, they have the Wash Away. So we will put Abigale back. Down to 22. Down to 19. Okay. Opponent, what you got? Okay, 5 mana. Still 1 way away from actually getting Quandrix. They play a Verdant Catacombs and they sack it. Okay, opponents. What you got? Alright. They mill a land. God Eternal Kefnet. Alright. So, how do we deal with that? Okay, well, I guess we'll play Umbral Juke. Make them sacrifice the God Eternal. Alright, that's nice. Oscar Hokam over on YouTube. Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Appreciate you being here, by the way. Hey, I had a good week, but I partied too much yesterday night. Oh, you partied? Well, I'm sure you had fun, though, right? So, of course, why you want to party. Dense it. So, thoughts and speculations on reality fracture. Ooh, that's actually a good question there. From what we see, I mean, pretty much the simplest thing I've discovered is, I mean, this is going to be realistically just Magic's version of the Marvel What If, or I guess you could say their, what is it? It's an alternate universe stuff. Like, if you know comics, Marvel has many universes, so I guess that's where we're going to be going with this. But the most common universe for Marvel is, what is it, the Ultimate Universe? I think that's what it is. It's been a while since I've gone into comics. So I'm guessing with Reality Fracture, you're going to see stuff like Chandra doing, you know, the What If thing. I mean, you saw her card, so now she's going to be the oppressor as opposed to being the, what is it, the person that values freedom. That's an interesting twist, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure yet how I feel, but I'm hoping it should be decent. Okay, so in the meantime here, what do we want to do? Alright, Lecturing Squirt Mage. And then... Can we do this? We can't do that too fast there. Okay. Instant. No attacks yet. Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait it out. But yeah, Reality Fracture, I'm still looking forward to. Not gonna lie. The schools that Jace put together are like, he's like, wait, why not we just literally flip the schools here? Which is, I kind of am looking forward to that, but at the same time, like, kind of also disappointed. I was hoping that this Strixhaven return that we're in right now, I was actually hoping we were going to get 5 brand new schools that would be rivals to the ones we saw from the original Strixhaven. But considering that now the story is going to be Reality Fracture showing, like, the opposite versions that Jace put together, I don't know. I'm going to try to be positive, only just because, what is it, the Stinger Quill? I'm like, oh, come on, Wizards. That was kind of just cheesy, but I will take it because it sounds like if the internet's most annoying trolls put together a school, that's what it sounds like to me, so that sounds hilarious. But I'm hoping it'll be decent. I hope I am. Oscar, yeah, I just got slightly drunk, but that's okay. My friends drove me home. Okay, well, good to know you have good friends that'll, you know, take care of you there, so that's good. I mean, it's good to make sure you always get home. It's been a while since I've actually done any of that stuff, so can't really comment too much on those things. Play Dramatic Finale. We don't have tokens yet, but we are hoping to generate some tokens soon. Unless our opponent cancels that. Okay, they hit the Cascade. Quandrix here is pretty powerful with the Cascade ability, so this might be next week's budget deck tech around Quandrix the Proof. I don't know. Let me know, everyone, what you want to see coming up. We are going to try to do what we can to make sure we hit every school at least once on stream and once as a budget deck. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Okay. Meantime here, opponents puts on Dragon though. All right, Flooded Strand. Obviously our opponent's playing at a non-budget level, but we're playing with our super janky little $26, $27 deck. I don't have any hope that we're going to beat our opponent, but we're going to try. It's not the worst. Okay, they got their tap land. They got the Gate to the Sea Tower. Okay, they got the River's Rebuke. Okay. Well, it's going to be painful, but it's not as painful as I thought it was going to be, because they're already playing it now. So we lose all of our stuff. Now we got to recast. Okay, we take... we go to 10, so we're at 15. Okay. Noobishly Foolish. Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us. Good evening. Really excited for the Echoverse and Reality Fracture. Okay, that's good to hear. I'll be honest, like, even though the story sounds a little bit kind of goofy, because, you know, I honestly, I'll be real. I don't really care about Jace as a character in Magic. I like some of the other characters that have much more interesting stories than Jace does. Having said that, I am at least thinking that, and I'm going to say, Reality Fracture, I think, will be the best and most exciting set this year in universe. Don't get me wrong, I did like, of course, going back to Laureate. I'm enjoying right now us playing with Strixhaven, but Reality Fracture definitely is going to be the highlight for this year. Mark my words, it will be, and it's going to be the set that everyone's going to want to, is one that's going to start grabbing copies of. It will happen. All right, play this. Gold Blade again. All right, recast everything one more time. Dense Planet. I really hope they will finally make Planeswalkers eligible as commanders. Honestly, they really should. That should have been done like years ago. Most Planeswalkers, honestly, are not built for commander, so they're not going to be overpowered in my opinion, so why not just do it? I mean, it's also weird because Brawl here, in Brawl, they allow you to use Planeswalkers as your commanders, so why not actual paper? Seriously, Wizards, what's holding you back? It literally would just take one quick announcement in like a couple seconds. I'm just saying. Alright. Opponent is swinging. Big swing here, by the way. Anything else? Royal treatments. They cascade some more. Alright, no spells, of course. Go to 8s, and we're dead. Dang. Well, I wasn't expecting us to get much out of that match because once I saw they were going to cascade, we were not going to be able to outperform that. So, it's okay, everyone. It's like our first L for the day, but that's okay. We've only gotten started, so I'm hoping that at least we'll get at least a couple wins. I would like to get at least one win with this super cheap deck, but don't worry. Once we get halfway through the stream, we will, of course, have a much more souped-up version of this deck. Also, Dense Planet. It would make sense, honestly, and I'll be honest, iconic Planeswalkers like Chandra make much more sense as your commander than some random ship. Oh, you're referring to the vehicle change in the rules. Don't get me wrong. I do like knowing that vehicles, hilariously, can be the leaders, but yeah, the Planeswalker should have came first. And you are right. Thematically, from a flavor perspective, it makes more sense to actually have not just a legendary creature, but also a Planeswalker as your commander for any set. I mean, come on, Wizards. Again, it's not that hard. Not that hard. Okay, let's see what we have in hand here. Got a Fracture. Can't really cast anything, so this is a little clunky, but that's okay. Mulligan? Okay. Very heavy on lands here, but okay, we'll keep this one. We'll keep it. Noobishly Foolish. Dihana was a good Planeswalker commander. Yes. Yes, they were. But I haven't actually had a chance to play with them. So maybe we'll get to do that in the future. At some point, I would like to, again, try to see if I could do some videos that show off my actual Planeswalker. Actually, like pretty much like anything that I have in paper. I will try to do videos on that at some point. Most likely, it'll probably be for Patreon level people. So if you actually do want to support me on that level, we'll try to put out some more exclusive videos where I can show off some of my more, like, IRL stuff. Okay, Gnawing Vermin. We mill 2. Okay. So our opponent is playing with Cavero here. Okay, so it's the Spider-Man in-universe version. I can't never keep track of these cards, by the way. Okay, let's see. What do we want here? Swamp. Play Stirring Hope Singer. Bird Bard. Okay, opponent, what you got? Another Swamp. Disinformation Campaign. Okay, so they're going to try to, I guess, make us discard? Alright. Annoying, but not the worst. So I guess we'll throw away the Eager First Year. We really don't need that badly. Opponent can't swing because we can still sponge the hit. Play the Plains. We will play Abigale. Down to 24, opponent. We go up to 26. Alright. This is 2 less to cast during our end step. Destroy a creature or planeswalker. Put a +1 counter on a creature. Okay. Reverse Rider. Alright, so they blow away 1 creature. Can't swing, though. Getting a lot of lands, though. Come on, deck. Alright. Alright, well, we'll do 20. Okay. Opponents. Can't use the charm on Caballero, but we can use it on the Murderous Rider. So that might be an option for us. Monstrous War Leech. Okay. That's a big leech. Okay. Okay, we'll take the damage there. Go to 25. I guess we'll just do this now. Closing Statement. Some counters on that. Destroy the leech. Now it's a 3-4. Okay. So, looks like our deck is betraying us once again. We're getting nothing but lands. I mean, we have a lot of lands in the deck, but where's our creatures at? Abigale can't do her thing if we don't have creatures. Own it. We're also running out of cards. Okay. Here comes the Caballero. Wait, is that how I spell it? Cav. Okay. Well, that does require us to wait a couple turn cycles. No blocks. That vermin would destroy Abigale. They go to 20. We're at 17. Ashiok. Ooh. That's not good. So they make us exile. No. Ugh, they took away Killian. That stinks. Okay, well, at least the Beaming Defiance can protect us for a bit. Okay, so Abigale now becomes prepared. That's good. We can... Actually, hold on. We gotta hit now Ashiok, because he's gotta go. But I don't want to use her ability just yet. We need to keep the Beaming Defiance as protection for now. Okay, they make us exile some more, so they're stealing more cards. It's one thing I absolutely hate when it comes to Magic is, besides, if one of the things worse than discarding, I hate when my stuff gets stolen. Just not a fan of stealing mechanics in the game. Even when I play stealing mechanics, I honestly, it makes me feel dirty. Which does lead me to a question, everyone. What is your most disliked thing against, whenever you fight an opponent, what is the one thing you hate the most? Do you hate your stuff getting destroyed, counterspelled, discarded, stolen? Let me know what is your most disliked thing in Magic. Okay, in the meantime here. Okay. Inkshape does get some pump, which is nice. And then we'll swing here. We're going to take out Ashiok. He's got to go. Okay, opponent. Okay, double block. All right, so from there, let's see. Make target opponent lose some life. Okay, so we can get +1/+1, and then make something else -1/-1. Okay, there we go. That's what we wanted. So 2 creatures down, not too bad. Ashiok doesn't go bye-bye just yet, but that's okay. I just want an Abigale. That's okay. So Murderous Rider does get shuffled back in. That's okay. Biggest thing is we just need to take out Ashiok before he takes away too many cards, or otherwise that's going to be really painful for us. As if it wasn't painful already. Noobishly foolish. Being beaten by my own cards. Yeah, that just kind of stinks when, especially like you can see here, Ashiok is just stealing more cards. And at some point, they can, if they have the right setup with their deck, can also steal our stuff. That's such a feel bad. Cool, Somnophage, alright. Making us mill some more. Honestly, mill is probably the one thing I don't mind getting, because sometimes we do play graveyard decks where we actually don't mind that. Okay, opponent, 3 cards in hand. What you got? What else are you going to try to do with us to mess with us? Okay, looking at the graveyard. Opponent. And passing. Swinging. Nothing? Okay. Alright, okay, Helping Hand, that's not too bad. So that actually helps us get back 1 card. What do we want back? Okay. Light Scribe it is. So that's nice. Alright, so Ashiok's got to go. Opponents, what you blocking? Okay, so they do block their Beaming Defiance. Big pump here. Nice. Finally, Ashiok goes bye-bye. We do lose, like 10 cards exiled. But that's a small price to pay to make sure the board's clear. Okay. What will our opponent do now? Okay, still 3 cards in hand. Somnophage is in the exile area. What else will our opponent's going to try to do here? But yeah, so Getting beaten by your own cards is also not fun. But yeah, let me know, everyone. What is your most disliked thing when it comes to playing against an opponent? Now, there's the Deadly Cover-Up. All right. Wrath is also not fun, but it's something that I'm used to at this point, so while it's not enjoyable, at least I could stomach it. And it seems like Wrathing doesn't seem as harsh as it used to be, but I feel like it's because we have so many cards now that protect you. But okay. Deadly Cover-Up. Is our opponent... Wait. Is our opponent trying to collect evidence? Okay. Wait. You can name planes? That's unfortunate. Okay. I didn't know you can actually name... Hold on. Wait, how does that work? Oh, a card from an opponent's graveyard. Insert his graveyard. Oh, wow. I didn't know you can actually name lands with Deadly Cover-Up. Ugh. That stinks. I didn't know that. Okay, well, still, the game is still going to go on. We're going to try a little bit more, everyone. But yeah, he actually drained out all of our planes just from that Deadly Cover-Up. Oh, that's vomit. Okay. Okay, opponent's just not caring anymore, so about us doing our thing. That's a shame. Down to 16. So at this point, we might be too far gone now where we can't really do anything. So, yeah. All right, fine, opponents. Let's take that win. That's kind of stunk. They actually took away all of our lands. I did not know you can do that with Deadly Cover-Up. Well, now I don't like that Wrath at all. Okay, well, in any case, we're still going to shake it off. No big deal. We're going to try again. Not giving up. I know this cute little budget deck we can put together can at least get one win. Noobishly Foolish over on now YouTube there. The Night Veil Spectre and Ashok pairing, stealing all of your cards was brutal. Yeah, and it took away some of the cards we really wanted to have in our hand. But that's okay. That sometimes is magic for you, everybody. Sometimes, again, you just steamroll. Sometimes you get completely shreked, depending on what your opponent plays. But that's okay, though. It's okay. I just wish that Brawl would be a little bit more fairer with how they try to match up. I know they try to do it, but it's not really that fair because we're still playing a super cheap deck, mostly paired up against opponents that have, like, the most powerful builds out there. So that reminds me that Brawl really should have a ranked format. I know they tested it out earlier, but they really should make that a real thing now. And by now, I mean yesterday. Any case, rambling aside, let's get this game going here. So we're going to play a Swamp. We're playing against High Perfect Morcant here. So we played against many times this Elf Mommy. Drew the Cowl. Alright, Silverquill Apprentice or Harsh Annotation. Okay. Play the Apprentice for now. Okay, so I have Abigale. If I'm guessing, our opponent's going to bring in Morcant at some point. Ironically, if we can start getting +1/+1 counters on stuff, that actually does stop High Perfect Morcant from doing her thing. Because she puts -1/- counters, and that cancels out with +1/+1 counters. But we'll see. Elvish Archer. Okay, that can't stick around. That's got to go now. Okay, no blocks. Okay, so for that, we will play the planes. Harsh Annotation now. Pump up our own creature. Cool. Swing there. Opponent's obviously not going to block with the Inkling. Okay, down to 22. Okay, so we have two ways of getting there. We can put down Abigale. Okay. Opponent's drawing some cards, that's fine. Do they cast another creature? More elves coming. Opponent swinging with an Inkling. We're at 22, so we're evenly matched still. Ooh, Killian Ink Duelist is great, so that's good. Play Abigale now. No attacks. So if we can get Killian to stick, that makes things cheaper once we start doing our thing with our instants and sorceries. Come on. Okay, High Perfect Morcant. So that means we do have to put a counter on something. Put it on the Apprentice. Not ideal, but we can still make it work. Elvish Visionary, okay. Okay. Does she do her tap thing? Okay, not yet, so that gives us time now to get out of this. Okay, Killian. We're now prepared. We will put 2 +1/+1 counters. Alright. And I guess we'll just pump it up too. Nice. Okay, so that does break away the counters, which is great. And then from here, put 2 more +1/+1 counters on Killian. Alright, nice. There we go. Down to 18. Okay, so at least the counters for now can slow down their elf for a bit. But they can cast elves faster than we can go with our spell slinging. I'm going to try, though. Blight, okay. Abigale loses a counter. Land War Tribe. Alright. Killian. As long as he has a counter, then our opponent will not do the proliferate thing. Or they might. Do they? Oh, they do. So the apprentice will die. It's okay. Small price to pay, but not a big one. Okay, Impervious Ink Mage. Okay, prepare again. We surveil. Okay, Zombify is not too shabby there. Stanza on here. Nice. Star Pupil. Re-prepare again. Okay, so what do they have open? Okay, so swing here with 2. 6 damage going to them. They can block if they want to, Abigale. Okay, down to 12. We go up to 24. Okay, so the plan is somewhat working, although it is a little clunky right now. We're not giving up. Guardian Project. Okay. They can start digging out cards. Joy. Greenwood Sentinel. Okay. Alright, well, -1 on Abigale. So that counters that for now. Nature Spiral. They bring back Elvish Archdruid. Okay, Archdruid coming in. Pops up their whole plan. Killian will lose this counter. At least this way, if they proliferate, they don't really get anything from it. Garrick. Ugh.
This curse, this throwing.
Color beast. Okay. Digging 5 deep. They get lands.
In my wake.
Anything else? Opponents. Anything else? Okay, so they do proliferate. So we lose a star. Well, actually, they didn't. Oh, surprised they actually didn't use that one. Okay, whatever. It's fine. No big deal, everyone. Heroic Stanza. Alright, put another counter on that. Zombify. We'll bring back our apprentice. Not for much value, but better than nothing. We swing here. Having that 1 Inkling token actually kind of became counterproductive against us. That's okay. On the blocks, of course. The token's gone, but they're close to powering off here if they want to. Pelt Collector. Alright, so Star People dies. Put its counters on a creature. I guess we'll put it on the apprentice. But they counter each other out, so how does that work? So they had some -1, and... Okay, so they do both counter each other out. Interesting. Paradise Druid, okay. -1, okay. So this is actually one of those matches where I realize now where the counter plan ends up becoming counterproductive, huh? But seriously, getting -1 counters from High Perfect Morcant versus Abigale trying to put +1/+1 counters is just a little clunky, because that kind of stops our game plan. A lot more than I thought. Ecological Appreciation. I don't remember this card, but apparently it's a thing. Okay. Hold on. Search your library for cards. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Shuffle the chosen cards into your library. Put the rest onto the battlefield. Okay. So for that, dang. It doesn't seem like it's not a good hit no matter what we do. Okay, Morcant does her thing. At this point, I'm pretty sure the elves have gotten the advantage. Alright. Okay, I think we're just going to concede this one, because we're getting snowballed here a lot harder than I thought, so I'll just take that L. Come on, deck. Get me at least 1 win with the budget. Just 1. We'll give it maybe like 2 more games, but either way, we will have a much more upgraded, more powerful version if you still like what this deck is trying to do. Trying, I emphasize heavily. Okay, so let's see. Can we do it? We're hoping to at least get 1 win with this super cheap deck. Literally, the deck is $27, I think, in paper. I think it's like, what, 12, 13 rares? It's not too bad for a budget deck in Arena. Okay, we're going to give it another shot here. Waiting on our opponent here. Hopefully we get someone. But while we're waiting, if you still are enjoying the content, even if it's not the most exciting of gameplay, show some love and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck decks, and so much more. Okay. But otherwise, let's see. Alright, so slowly but surely we can get there with this. Playing against Slimefoot, but it's also that's the alchemy version. Ugh. Terrible version, but okay, that's fine. We will get through that. With the Shattered Sanctum. Slimefoot, I'm guessing, coming down now. Of course. No surprise there. So they basically get free cards every time. Or it's like basically a landfall ability that gets them free cards. So look at that. So every time they get a land, and this is why I don't like alchemy cards. I mean, look what it does. Come on. They get any of these cards randomly just for playing lands. You tell me that's fair? That's not fair. But okay. Complaining aside, environmental sciences. Let's get out a plains. So at least we can get our lands going. Okay. Nykthos. The Weather Sea Treaty. So, of course, they're going to start getting their ramp on. Okay. Get a basic. Okay, so see, there you go. They get free cards. It's literally a landfall trigger that honestly should have been a mythic. Even if it is random, it's still like, okay, see? Extra cards. Someone tell me out there, or you justify to me, everybody, if you think that's actually okay with alchemy cards. Just saying. Okay, Abigale. Coming in. At least she could block for a little bit. Let's see, what cards can he get? He can get all the fungi. Is there any removal he can grab? Doesn't look like it, so that's okay. I guess that's okay for now. But they are in black, so I'm anticipating removal any moment now. Oh, they're completely embracing the alchemy aspect of this deck. Okay, so they start getting free value there. Okay, Graduation Day. We will play Shattered Acolyte. At least we're prepared now. Getting our hit. So, what I'm going to do here is, at least with Shattered Acolyte, I can take away that Verdant before it gets too out of control. So we're going to have to do that. Okay. Opponent swinging. Social Climber. Alright. That gains them life. Anything else, opponents? Alright, so in order to make this work... Sapperling Migration, okay. They gain their life. That's fine. Swinging. They do. Swing and swing. No blocks. We take a hit and we go to 20. I'm sorry, 19. And I was going to say 29. Okay. Okay, so from here, get a swamp. That's fine. Sacrifice now. That's got to go. Okay, so from here, we will start pumping Abigale up. So, okay. Starting to get a little bit more pump out of her. And then Elite Interceptor. Re-prepare her. Alright. No attacks yet. Okay. So we're trying to find our best way right now to start getting our cards and spells prepared, and then hopefully we can go off from there. Settle the Wilds. Yep. Full alchemy. But again, if anybody out there, if you guys play alchemy cards, I mean, again, that's your jam. It's just not for me still. I still think it's not. It feels very unmagic to me. It feels more like Hearthstone, realistically. Y'all know, if y'all played Hearthstone, you know what I'm talking about. But at least our opponent can't swing for now, so I guess that's fine. Okay, so... Hold on, how do we want to do this? Let's see. Stanza. Counters. Okay. Star Pupil. Repair again. Okay. Not too bad. Still don't want to attack, though. I want to attack, but I don't want to be left wide open with that many tokens out there. So we're going to have to wait a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Still getting free cards. So they're just going to keep going off with all these tokens. But we're going to try. Scolding Administrator. Okay. Flare of Cultivation, so they get more lands. That means more free stuff in hand. Their hand never runs out of cards because of how Slimefoot's ability works. Okay, we're going to Embrace again. So, see, like, even if I get rid of, like, certain cards, I can just keep making more free copies of them. It's just like, really? Okay, opponent's starting to get a little cheeky now. Okay. Block here. Block here. I guess we'll block with the Star Pupil. They're trying to get more aggressive now because they're going wide enough where they can't afford to do this. Okay, they still make Sapling tokens. Gain more life. Okay, Cost of Brilliance. Okay, so how do we want to do this here? Okay, so don't get prepared from that, but that's okay. No attack still. The value just keeps going. Now, don't get me wrong. We've played many decks where we can get free value, but you're just getting rewarded here for this. Yeah, it just rubs me the wrong way. Spore Mound. Okay, so that means more Saprolings. Okay, opponents. Are we done? All right, not done yet. Okay. Anything else going on? Okay, so here come more tokens, more life gain. Still more free cards. Because that's totally fair. Okay, Thalit. Helps with the plan because they get more copies of stuff. More copies of stuff. Okay. We'll block with one here, but then that still pushes us to... down to 3. Okay. More life gain. Swamp. So, let's see. Guess we might as well just go with one final big swing here. That's all we can do now. And... put some more stuff on there. I mean, Abigale, as you can see, does get bigger, but my opponent has way too much value here, so I have to call it quits again. Dang. Well, I mean, my only excuse is going to be, again, don't like alchemy cards, don't like how unfair they are. As you can see, they're not as balanced as you think. If you play alchemy cards, that's your jam, everyone. But again, as you can tell, I'm very anti-alchemy, completely in Arena. I don't know what they're thinking when it comes to this stuff. Just ugh. Just ugh. But okay. Let's try one more on the budget. After this, we will then upgrade the deck and show you if you really actually like what the deck is trying to do, then we're definitely not going to hold back on the next remainder of the stream. So if you're hanging in there still just a little bit longer, everyone, thank you again for as always. If you do want to support me beyond this, we do have a Patreon. If you do want to check out some exclusive videos that don't make it to the main channel, or at the very least, that also are going to be available for members only playlist that we have also that's located on YouTube. So however one way you want to support me there, or if nothing else, we do of course have a Discord. All the links for these things, if you're interested, will be located in the details below once we're done with the stream. Okay, opponent's playing with Lorena? Wait, hold on. This is just a vanilla card, isn't it? It's a 0/8. Huh. What game are you playing, opponents? I'm kind of confused, but okay. I'm intrigued to know where this is going, so let's see what they're trying to do. Okay. For now. Later, Scolding Administrator. I mean, what could our opponent be doing with a 0/8? Okay. Now, do they have like a gimmick? It's probably a gimmick deck then. So if they seek new knowledge. All right. So I'm guessing they probably have something that is unfair. All right. Okay, Abigale, maybe. All right, she comes in. I have a feeling it's going to be something that's really dumb. I mean, why else would you... Yeah. So they got alchemy cards. And it looks like they're going to try to do some kind of, you know, like maybe draw their whole deck. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Prepare. Down to 18. Well, whatever gimmick they have, I'm going to see if we can still try to get around it some way, somehow. Oh, there it is. This is the treasure hunt. All right. And they have what? They have the wizard. So that means what? That's it. Okay, that's dumb. That's dumb, opponent. Boo. Boo and your stupid silly combo there. All right, we're done with this. Okay, let's actually get this for real, everyone. Even though the deck failed to go off, we did have some really goofy shenanigans we have to put up with. So I am now actually going to try to get something much more serious going. So what if we decide now to upgrade the deck and take it actually to the next level and make it much more stronger than what we played right now? Don't get me wrong. If you like that budget deck, it's still going to be something you can actually check out if you actually are interested. But this time around, we're not going to hold back. So this time, as you can see, we're not going to put some much more needed stuff in the deck. And we're actually not going to have the restriction anymore of just Strixhaven only cards. We're actually going to go all out with this one. So we're going to try to make sure we can go all in with life gain. We got +1/+1 counters, and we have tokens now to really kind of beef up our whole game plan. So we're going to throw in cards like Cleric class here to gain life, put +1/+1 counters on stuff. Gird for battle, adding counters to 2 target creatures. We'll throw in Mother of Runes here to make sure we have some good protection for ourselves here. We're going to get some actual good life gain like Soul Warden here. We'll throw in other cards that are going to help us out. Fatal Push, of course, definitely has to go in. We're going to throw in, let's see, what is it? Other upgrades for the deck. Bearer of Glory. Oh, actually, no, not Bearer. Oh, hold on. This is the wrong card. That's not the one I wanted. Oh, good thing I checked that out. It was the Voice of Victory. I don't know why I put in the wrong card there, but you get the idea. So from there, get in that upgrade. So now we have Voice of Victory, so locking out our opponent, making sure we can make some other tokens. Other cards we're going to throw in, Sheltered by Ghosts is going to be a much more stronger option for us here. We'll throw in Eliminator Virtuoso because this, while technically doesn't have the Prepared or anything like it, that actually still can go really big with once you start casting spells, they actually add to it. Other options that will give us much more much-needed power for the deck itself. We're going to throw in some better ramp, Orzhov Signet here, Arcane Signet for other upgrades for the deck here that we have. Let's see, 3-drop, we'll have to throw in Aerith Gainsborough from the Final Fantasy set with +1/+1 counters, so she works really well with the deck. Agent Bishop here also puts +1/+1 counters on things here. We have Cosmograd Zenith here, which puts +1/+1 counters, or we can put tokens out there. Both of them work. We need to slow down opponents now, so we're going to throw in Archon and Ephemeria here, so making sure they can only cast 1 spell a turn. Other upgrades we want for the deck here is going to be Aven Interrupter here, so this Bird Rogue can then exile a spell, forcing it to be plotted. Black Market Connections provides for us much more stronger ramp and also tokens and also treasures for us we can use. Boggart Trawler here can hit our opponents for their graveyards, and also again it can be a creature in itself. Hold on. Let's see, other upgrades. We have Chromatic Lantern, of course, which is going to be much more stronger for us overall for the deck to give us better ramp. Anointed Procession, extremely good card for us to generate for us double the tokens we can make in the deck. Speaking of, again, token generation, we'll go throw on Felidar Retreat, so now we can make cat tokens, and also we can put +1/+1 counters, which is a perfect combination for the deck. Other upgrades, we're going to throw in Smothering Tide. I know some of you don't like this card, but for our deck, we definitely need, again, to kind of force our opponent into that situation. Witch Enchanter here can either be a land or it can be Artifact and Enchantment Haze, so that's much better for us. Fel the Profane, of course, also can be a land or spot removal. Other upgrades for the deck that are going to really help us kind of pump out our plan here. We'll throw now Decorum Dissertation here. So this is actually going to be really cool. This is a Paradigm card here. Allows us to draw 2 cards, and we lose 2 life. But again, we can just help us churn through our deck for the entire game. Once this spell resolves, we can keep casting a free version every turn once we get to our turn. Other upgrades for the deck, we'll throw in Glasswing Grace here. So it can either be an aura that can give us +2/+2 flying and lifelink, or it could just be a tap land for us. And then finally, the other major upgrade will be Restoration Seminar here. Another Paradigm card. We can bring back a non-land permanent card from our graveyard to the battlefield every single turn once we resolve this. And of course, the other major upgrades, if nothing else, it's always going to be to the mana base itself, because we definitely can use some much needed help here. So we'll throw in Abandoned Air Temple here for counter shenanigans. A Gonjo here for spot removal, but can also be a land. We're going to trim down ourselves down to now 7 plains and 5 swamps to make room for now Bachuka Bog for more graveyard hate. And all of the good rare duels we can muster up. So Bleachbone Verge here, Pathway Land, Cave of Kolios is the Pain Land, Concealed Courtyards are Fast Land, Godless Shrine is going to be the Shock Land, Restless Fortress for a Creature Land, Shadowy Backstreet is one of our Surveil lands, Shattered Sanctum for the Slow Land, Silent Clearing is going to be our Sacrifice Card Draw Land. We'll throw an Arid Archway now to, again, bounce things back. We can use them as spells again. Command Tower is going to be much better for the deck. Demolition Field for non-basic land hate with the Volatile Fault. We'll throw an Urborg to make all of our lands into swamps, so even the utility lands are good here. We'll throw in Prismatic Vista as a real fetch land for us with Marsh Flats. We have Mana Confluence for better fixing. Fountain Port can sacrifice some of our our treasures. Not even treasures, just tokens general for more value. Fable Passage from also much more stronger land there, but that is now the upgraded version of the deck, everyone. This version also, FYI, also is going to cost you around, don't quote me on this, I think it's about $400. So not that something I would encourage to just drop immediately, but if you like the base version of the deck and you want to see what you can do to make it better, this gives you a better idea of it. So let's take this upgraded version into the Brawl format, and let's see for the remainder of the stream if this version of the deck is much better. But okay, let's give this a shot. I feel like this is going to be the much more exciting outcome for our game plan today. Hopefully this will be much better. Hopefully. I mean, we got to at least get one win today, right? I think there's only been one stream so far this year where we didn't win a single game, whether we played budget or non-budget. So I'm hoping this will be at least better than that live stream. That one was a sad one. Okay, we got what we need in hand, which is good. Opponent is playing with Avatar Aang, which of course we played ourselves a while back. Aang is a good card though. Firebender Ascension, alright. Opponent is definitely not playing games right now. Make their token. Marsh Flats is sacked. Let's get out... Get out the Shadowy Backstreet now. We Surveil. Okay, Stirring Honormancer. Do we want that now? We have enough lands to clear stuff, so I guess we'll do that. They got Firebending, so first off, Demolition Field. Pass. Okay. Whirlweave. Ugh, more alchemy shenanigans. Okay, you hate to see it, but that's okay. Fatal Push that. So no triggers opponents. Okay. Felidar Retreat, that'll be good for later on. Scheming Silver Tongue. Fountain Port. I want to keep the Witch Enchanter for a little bit longer. If we could just blow away something. Well, that Whirlweave's got to go, though. Alright. Fellow Profane. Alright, so that's cool. Okay, Witch Enchanter. I'm sorry, opponents, but that can't survive. Whirlweave's got to go. Phew! Okay, before that actually got out of control. Need some life there. Okay, no blocks. Go to 19. Okay, Restless Fortress. That's not too shabby. Felidar Retreat. Oh, I realized I went the wrong order for that. I should have actually put down the Felidar Retreat first, then the land. Okay, well, that is my mistake. That's okay. Decorum Dissertation. Okay, so we actually got our sweet card draw land in hand, but first off, Abigale coming in. Down to 18. Okay, Earthbender Ascension. Okay, opponent is trying to do something here. Alright, they turn on their Rockfall Veil. Alright. Opponent's still swinging. They're getting aggro here. Nope, nothing yet. Okay, Mana Confluence. That's good. So before we do this, play the Archon first. Okay, now we're prepared. Nice. Then we put +1/+1 counters on everything. There we go. Now we're talking. Down to 13 opponents. We gain the life. Okay. We also end up being prepared. Okay. So Archon at least will keep things under control for now. So whatever opponent does play, that's all our opponent can play. Okay. Cleric class. So let's see. How do we want to do this here? Okay. Let's see. Play the Cleric class. Pump up the Cleric class. We can swing with everything here. Okay. Down in 7. Okay, much better. All right. Okay, well, this version is feeling a lot more better than the other one. Much, much stronger. Okay, opponent can play Avatar Aang, but that's all they can play for the turn. Okay, so closing statement. Okay, that's good. So let's see. Closing statement here. And then say goodbye, Avatar Aang. The Avatar's no more. And there you go, everyone. Wow, what a difference that was. The upgrades really, really make this deck far more stronger than it is. But that was a good one there. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better now after we finally got a win today. But okay, there you go, everyone. When you play the deck, I guess, at a much more stronger level, now you really get a lot more goodness out of it. Even through the Archon, we actually were able to still get good value. So I was actually pretty happy about that one. Okay, so with that, let's see if we can get a couple more wins in here. We'll do what we can. Okay, so, question for everyone. While we're waiting for the next game here, since one of our fiery friends did bring it up earlier, what are your thoughts on Reality Fracture coming soon? And what are you hoping to see with the flipped versions of the Strixhaven schools that Jace put together? I'm still trying to figure out the story myself. It sounds like a bit of a mess. Not in a good way, though, but I guess we'll just see. Okay, this looks good. They're playing with Grist, so we'll play our planes first. Get out the Soul Warden. So from here, we can Vanishing Verse if we need to in a pinch. Okay. Get that life. This version of Grist actually does... Take that. Say goodbye, opponent. Okay, so opponent is playing with... Which I do have Grist, by the way. He's a very good card. Although... Oh, dang, we should have actually gotten the... Oh, maybe I should have kept that Vanishing first. Now I've kind of regret that. It's okay, it's okay. No big deal. We still have a way of getting around our opponent here. Gain that life. No attacks. Noobishly Foolish. $400 deck versus a $25 deck. Who knew? Oh, there we go. Another free win for us. Okay. I'll take that. I mean, you're not wrong, Noobishly Foolish, but to be fair, we've had some good victories with some super cheap decks in the past. I mean, we've gotten some wins in Timeless with, like, a deck that was only, like, $40 in the most powerful format in Arena. But yeah, I mean, okay. At nothing else, think of it this way. If you actually do want to play a silverquill deck and you really didn't want to spend a ton, I mean, hey, the $25 deck at least gets you a deck to play with. But yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes we put together budget decks that actually do surprisingly go off. But we've had many times where we have budget decks that they don't do anything, which actually kind of makes it feel a little sad. But I guess that also is a detriment to how Magic over the, what is it now? I've been replaying the game since 2017. So wow, 9 years I've been back in the game. But yeah, and over the 9 years I've been back in Magic, since I took a break 15 years before that, there's been a huge change in manage of upgrades. Don't get me wrong, I love how the game has gotten a lot more stronger, and even like things like uncommons and commons feel much better. But man, it just feels like sometimes the things have a harder time going off. Not like the old days. Old days, it felt like you were able to grind out a lot before you can get to like your wins. Or at least maybe that's just me through the nostalgia glasses. But in any case, hopefully now we'll get some more consistent wins with this. But I do have, of course, words that I will bring up a little bit later on, so don't worry. My critiques will be coming soon. Until then, Excava, the Risen Past. Okay, Spirit Horse. That's cute, by the way. We will play Illuminator Virtuoso. Play Scolding Administrator. And pass. Okay, so from here, can't get the Dramatic Finale yet. But we can get Abigale out. Brass Tunnel Grinder. Alright, opponent. What you discarding? Discarding. What do we got? 2, oh, 3. Oh, wow. Almost a whole brand new hand. Okay. Alright. Vanishing Verse. That'll be good. But first off, I want to get Abigale out. Down to 24. Down to 21. Okay. Vanishing Verse can hit the Tunnel Grinder if we need to in a pinch. So that might be what we need. On the other hand, though, here comes Excava, the Risen Past. What does this card do again? When it attacks, return up to one target artifact, creature, or non-aura enchantment card with a mana. Oh, okay. Well, that's a cool card. I have an idea for this deck as well. But this will probably also come possibly next week. So let's see. Okay, no blocks yet. That's cool. I like what it does, though. Let's see. Okay, Bogger Trawlers. So from here, we will pay the 3. I know I probably want to keep it for Graveyard Hate, but at the same time, I also want to make sure we can do our thing. So, Silverquill Command. They have to sacrifice a creature. And... okay, there we go. There we go. And then, what do we throw away here? Throw away the Swamp. No extra value, that's okay. Opponent has to sacrifice a creature. Puts you in a bad spot, opponent. If you sacrifice this, we get a free big swing here. But if they sacrifice their commander, then they have to recast it. But they can block. So, what are you going to do, opponents? I figured we put them in a bad spot there. Okay. Big swing here. Down to 6. Woo! That felt good. Okay, so opponent still has the chance to bring stuff back. So we'll see what they do here. Hardened Academic. Okay. Okay, let's see. Our Vanishing Verse may not do much now because they're playing a lot of multicolored things, but we're going to hold on to it just in case. Okay. Mothwing Shroud. So we lose the Illuminator Virtuoso. Just for a bit, though, because we can Vanishing Verse our way out of this. Okay. Opponent swings. What do they bring back? Is it the Vulcan Vampire or is it the Airbender? I figured Airbender. Okay. Okay. So we lose that just temporarily. Not a huge deal, though. We can still get rid of stuff. Okay. Opponent does get some lifelink. So we're on 12. They go back up to 9. Okay. Aerith. Let's see. Play Aerith. Be prepared again. Okay. Opponent. And we still have the Vanishing Verse, so if we need to in a pinch, we can do this. Trying to think what else they might do here. Okay. And then... let's see. This is a tough turn here. If we only had life gain, Aerith would actually be a solid option here, but we're going to have to wait it out for a smidge. Because at the same time, they're going to start hitting stuff with Exile, and this is going to be very annoying. But we do have ways around it, though. Professional Face Breaker, okay. And then... okay, so it's a quest counter. Okay. We can exile that Mothwing Shroud if we need to. Airbender essentially can also go bye-bye. So I guess it really depends on what our opponent wants to do here. Okay. Okay, lifelink. Okay, swinging still. Takes 6 here. Okay. Trapped in the screen. So that hits... okay. We will decline. Hold that down for now. Take out... wait, is that Ward 2? Okay. Mothwing Shroud goes bye-bye. Okay. Limiter Virtuoso is back. Okay. Not sure we can get out of this one. We're going to try. Down to 5. Getting some treasure. Okay. Opponents. Anything else? Very interesting deck, though. I kind of like it. So we're definitely going to start building around this Spirit Horse in a bit. Mostly for next week. Okay, Tunnel Grinder flips. Failed Passage. Not really going to be helpful here, but I guess it's better than nothing? But I'm pretty much sure this is just game right here. Okay. Yeah, we can't do anything. So we'll just concede now. Okay, well, unfortunate there. But that's okay. That's okay, everyone. We still at least got one good legitimate win so far today, but we were definitely going to see if we could try to squeeze out a couple more today before the end of the stream. But otherwise, I asked everybody on socials earlier about what has been your favorite school so far as we've returned to Strixhaven. Sounds like for most people, it's been Witherbloom so far. But I do want to ask everybody here, as we've gone through now Secrets of Strixhaven, what has been your favorite school here on the chat, everyone? So let me know in the chat which one you've enjoyed if you've been playing the set frequently like I have. Have you been enjoying Silverquill, Witherbloom, Lorehold, Quandrix, Prismari? Let me know, everyone. I would love to hear from you. But any case, all right. So for this one here, we'll get down that. Graduation day. Okay, so for here, let's see if we can try to get... we can get some stuff going here. All right, got a Plains, that's good. Plains. Scheming Silvertongue. So the game plan now, if we can get down the Cleric class, start gaining life, we can prepare ourselves with the Silvertongue. Okay. Nice. Play Mother of Runes. Do you have an answer, opponent? Because they're playing also Quandrix again. But this time around, we're better prepared. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, but it's for reals. Opponents. Swing in here. Nubishly Foolish. Oh, you do enjoy Silverquill. Okay. Okay, we managed to prepare ourselves there. Migration Path. Okay. Okay, so we managed to get the Sign in Blood, which is solid. So if we untap next turn, Scheming Silvertongue can actually get us some good stuff here. Okay, they're playing Studious first here. The Bear Wizard. Chris Antogo. Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. I like Quandrix, but Silverquill seems to be doing well. That is true, though. It's been an interesting situation, I'll say, with them. All right. We'll now bring in Abigale. Scheming Silver gains that 2 life. We can keep preparing ourselves if we need to. But what we need to do now is we do need to draw into some more cards. Okay, here comes Quandrix. Doing his thing. But at least now with Mother of Runes, we do have a way to protect stuff. For now. So we're hoping we can do this. Okay, Quandrix coming in. Alright. Marsh Flats. That's not too bad. So for that, how do we want to do this here? How do we want to do this? I guess we'll do the Sign of Blood. Draw 2 cards. Okay, we actually got the Smothering Tide, which is solid. Killian coming in. Prepare with Abigale. Make that unblockable with green. Swing. Down to 22. Alright. So our preparations are working. Okay, we can get down that Smothering Tithe. Then we should be good here. Proctor's Gaze. Okay. What does that do again? Okay, it just bounces back the creature. Put it in our hand. That's fine for now. Okay. Okay, they're getting the land drops. Opponent still has plenty to work with here. But I'm hoping that if we get a Smothering Tide down, we should be good here. Down to 23. Okay, so I think for now, we're going to have to keep the Scheming Silver Tongue on the back end. Okay, Migration Path doing its thing. Rapid Hybrid. Oh, jeez, they actually got that. No! Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So I wasted my Mother of Runes, I think, a little too early there, but that's okay. We will play the Volatile Faults. Play the Smothering Tide. And then... Well, I guess we'll swing at these. Down to 17, we go up to 26. So at least we can still kind of hang in there, just a little bit more. But ideally, once we can get Cleric class going, we should be good then. We also can bring back our card once with Cleric class. Ooh, thanks for the treasure opponent. Appreciate that. Too big to hit with Fatal Push, unfortunately. They got Bender's Waterskin. Okay. They draw 2 cards, but that does give us 2 triggers. So do they pay? Do you pay the 2 opponents? Maybe. Ooh, Nature's Claim. Oh, wow. Okay. So they get rid of our Smothering Tithe. The 2 triggers were still in the stack, though, so do they pay? Okay. Well, we do get some treasures. That's good. Can't hate on that. Okay. We do have still an Anointed Procession, so we do have options here. Deep Analysis. Okay. Draw more cards. That puts us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Okay, so they really wanted to get... I realize now, if they didn't get rid of our thing, our Smothering Tide, then they probably wouldn't be able to go off here like they are doing now. But okay. Opponent is trying to make it work. Dang, I just wish we had some kind of protection for our Smothering Tide. That would have hosed our opponent a ton here. But they managed to get rid of it. Still... we'll try here. I guess we Fatal Push away here. And... put a count on Killian. So I guess it's better than nothing. Down to 25. Okay, so from here... okay, Arcane Signet's solid too. So with that, we will Cleric class. So we can start doing our thing here. Opponents. Tell me you don't actually have something in hand. Wow, Force of Vigor? Ugh. That's devastating. And the Cascade off of that. They get the Farseek. So we mill again. Dang. Alright, Hedge Maze. Well, I mean, it is what it is. They force a Vigor away both of our cards there, which is really, really painful for us. But okay. Alright, well, I guess... How do I want to do this? Okay. I guess we'll just pop these. Okay, Abigale coming back. Swing here for 6. Got to 8. Okay, this time around we're going to have to keep Mother Runes as is. Whatever we can protect ourselves against, we need to make sure we can keep things alive just a little bit longer. Exhibition Tidecaller. Huh. I actually cracked this in our first booster pack opening video. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. We actually got a really, really sweet special guest star off of that card. Okay. Cave of Kolios. That's cute. Arcane Signet. Please tell me you don't have anything else, opponent. Okay, they got the negate. Okay. 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 Still more stuff. Okay, and then I guess maybe I can try to play... Okay, they got the Mystic. That's fine. Well, I guess we'll play now in Anointed Procession. We're not going to get any tokens yet, but we might. So we're hoping to bank on that, unless they have the Disdainful Stroke. Come on! Oh! Oh, gosh darn it all. Just... Ugh. Okay. Opponent is just being absolutely disgusting right now. Brainstorm. Okay. More milling. Okay. Cascade, everyone, and milling. All in one delightful little package. Okay. Okay, opponents. No. No attacks. We'll have to wait. I mean, we're still close. Not the worst, but at the same time, we're still also struggling here so hard. Okay. We're halfway through our deck. Our opponent is definitely starting to go off here. Okay. But our opponent's also getting close to, like, everything, too. So let's see. What will happen here? Okay. Cultivate. Is there a way? If the Decorum maybe gets there? Stirring Honormancer may not provide enough value for us. I don't know. We'll see. 4 cards, opponents. Is there anything else? Revelation. I'm not going to lie, everyone. Quandrix is probably going to be the last one we'll do once we actually get close to the end of the Strixhaven run, because, as you can see right here, it's just such a boring thing for me to see the Cascade thing and the card draw on the ramp. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything unique for the color combination. So it just feels like I'm just literally just sitting here watching my opponent just do their thing. Are you done yet, opponent? Okay, just more milling. Okay, it's not fine, but, you know, I'm so bored out of my mind right now. It's fine, opponents. It's fine. Not really, but it's fine. Is that enough? 3 copies? Yeah, it's done. All right. Yeah, that was pretty miserable there. Okay, moving on. Yeah, that deck was degenerate as heck. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to sit there through the mill. I actually do want to play some more games. So we're going to squeeze in what we can. We're going to play a little bit longer, everyone. We're past now the 3/4 mark of the stream. So again, if you like to see what else we're going to be doing, I'll try to make sure we can let you guys know, of course, when our next live stream is. We're going to shoot for maybe it'll probably be Wednesday again. We're kind of going back to our normal schedule where we used to do like a Wednesday and a weekend stream, like a Friday or Saturday. As far as our next deck tech, we do have, of course, our own exciting deck tech that's going to be coming out tomorrow morning. I do need to do one more final touch on it, and it should be ready to go. So keep an eye out on that, everyone. And I assure you, it should be a good one. A bit jank, but it will be good. Okay. All right, we're playing against... Oh, we're playing against Silverquill, the Disputant. I almost wanted to build a deck around this, but I don't know. This one was a little bit trickier to do. And I actually kind of like Abigale here, even if it is a budget option for us. So we'll start here. Clever Lubomancer. All right. Silverquill here. Bitter Blossom. Oh, I forgot. We could have added that in too. But we'll talk about that, of course, near the end. Voice of Victory. So our opponent is now locked out of stuff during our turn. So if they've got to blow up Voice of Victory, they got to do it this turn. Caretaker Talent. That's cute. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Play Abigale first. Swing with the Voice of Victory. Making our tokens. Down to 21. Immobilize away those. Alright, they start drawing cards. Cute combo, though. Caretaker's Talent into Bitter Blossom. Okay, here comes Silverquill. So they can start doing casualty shenanigans, but we'll see if that's enough against us. For the time being, though, we'll play Agent Bishop. He starts putting stuff together, so we will... Abigale, Voice of Victory. So can't swing yet. They start making tokens, they start drawing more cards. Ideally, I would like to get Cosmograd Zenith down, but we need at least one more land or one more one-drop spell. One or the other. Which one will it be, opponent? Antiquities on the loose. Okay, make tokens. And more tokens. It's a pretty good hit there. Okay, they pump up. Make more tokens. Okay, opponent is trying to go big here and wide. They swing. Can't block it still, we're at 21. Alright, ooh, Volatile Vault, that's good. So, Cosmograd Zenith. We will Heroic Stanza on Abigale. And let's see, let's make some tokens. There we go. And we can start putting stuff down. Alright, not too shabby. Abigale swings. Blocking. We take out one token. I honestly thought he was going to double block there, but maybe he didn't want to risk also losing Silverquill. Okay, so from here, Harsh Annotation will be our next thing we got to do to make sure Silverquill doesn't go off. Elspeth. Ugh. That's a shame. That actually might be game ending for us. So do they, but... Okay, they make... Okay, they start making their soldiers. Opponent swings. And swings. Go to 16. Okay, Smothering Tithe. A little... Not quite what we need right now. Scheming Silver Tongue. Alright. We will... Silverquill goes bye-bye. Put +1/+1 counters on everything. There we go. They do get tokens, which is annoying. But... Alright. We'll put that there. Put that there. Okay. Can't... I mean, we could swing here. But we just can't get through all the tokens. Okay. Push a token out of the way. They still keep drawing cards. Okay. Feat of Resistance would be nice. We had the mana for it, but not quite there yet. Okay. Does our opponent blow away something, or they're just going to pump up the whole team and make it go flying? If they go flying, we're just pretty much game over for us. Oh, okay. Silverquill coming back. Opponents. Yep, there it is. Okay, well, dang, we tried. Once again, completely hosed. Ouch. Ouchie, ouchies. Okay, well, still not doing too hot. But let's see if we can squeeze in maybe a couple more games, everybody. We are getting close to the end here, but hopefully we can at least end today on one more win. I would love to at least get that done. Let's see. Gotta feel it, everyone. We're going to see if we can try to keep that positivity just a little bit longer. Even though we have been down quite a bit today, I still feel we can at least get one more win. Just one more. So let's see if we can push out maybe like what? One more, two more games? Maybe two more, ideally. Okay, they're playing with Olivia. Okay. So, slow hand here, but we do have a Fatal Push, so we'd have at least some early game removal, but Olivia here is going to be a powerful card once she gets out. Play the Silent Clearing. Chromatic Lantern's good. Okay, Mountain. Cold Steel Heart. Okay, opponent's also getting the ramp on. We got a Swamp. Nothing yet. So I think for here, a Patchwork Banner, okay. I'm guessing Vampire. Not surprised. Okay, Aven Interrupters. That's not too shabby for now. We'll put out first the Lantern. I want to make sure we can still keep everything fixed exactly what we need. They put down a 2-drop. At least we have also a Fatal Push here, so we have options. Okay, Scion of Opulence. Can't hit that, unfortunately. That's okay. Lecturing Scorn Mage. Okay, so how do we do this here? I think we'll actually hit this now. Getting 2 cards a turn for free for the remainder of the game can be powerful. And I don't think our opponent has an answer to that. So this could be what might help us out here. Just need to... Okay. Get the Scorn Mage out. Abigale comes out. Ideally, one more land actually on next turn should help us out here a ton. Okay, what does this do again? Sign Opulence. Whenever another creature, non-token vampire dies, make a treasure. Okay, so they can do pseudo-ramping. They sacrifice 2 artifacts and exile cards. Huh. It's a cute little built-in engine for this, if it goes off. But it looks like our opponent's thinking now. Did we hose them with our own card here? I mean, we haven't even swung yet, but this is powerful. With this paradigm going off, literally drawing 2 extra cards, so basically 3 cards a turn for the remainder of the game. That is powerful. Okay, we did get it. Nice! Okay, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to get us to our victory. I really do hope. But we gotta find a way around. Oh, sort of Feast and Famine. Not what I was expecting, but okay. Go to 18. Okay, Dramatic Finale. Paradigm. So we draw 2 more cards. Okay, I guess now we get to be solid here with our deck. Okay, so with that, let's play Soul Warden first. Opponent. Alright. We will play Abigale. Start getting some life back. And then from here, we'll keep stuff protected for now. So nothing yet. But that also means we're going to have to start tossing away cards here. So what do we toss away? Probably the Honormancer. If our opponent starts playing creatures, though, then we can definitely, because they're a creature deck, we can start getting our life back with Soul Warden. But we can protect her for a turn. Just one turn, though. Pressure from black and green. Okay. Okay. That prevents Abigale from doing anything, but we can block with our white creatures. We need to. Oh, okay, Braid. Okay, Indestructible. Do you have another answer, opponent? Phew. Okay. Opponent swinging. No blocks. So I have an idea for next turn, though. Discard a card. What if we discard? I guess maybe the dramatic finale? They get to untap all their lands, though. Veto coming in. I'll take that life gain, though. Thank you, opponents. Okay, so melancholic poet. I know I said poet. Okay. So this has to be now the turn we gotta really dig in here. So for that, sacrifice this land to draw a card. That turns on Fatal Push. Which means now Veto goes bye-bye. They do make a treasure off of that, which is annoying, but that's not the worst. We can... Okay, prepare. Okay. Gain life off of that. Heroic Stanza. Puts, let's see. We don't have any protection, do we? Okay. I guess maybe we'll just try to see if we can get instead value from life gain. Okay, life again. Swing, swing. Down to 22. Not being able to hit this actually has been kind of frustrating. But we'll try. We have some white creatures, so it's not like it's impossible. Markov Enforcer. Ooh. Gain life off of that, though. Takes out the Score Mage. Aw. That's a shame. Okay. Make a blood token from that. Can't block. Go to 7. Okay, we have to discard a card. I guess we'll throw away the waypoint. They untap everything. Okay. Blood token. So they throw away Zargos. So I'm guessing they're going to try to reanimate him. Now they got a alchemy card too. Disgusting. But they station. Perpetually... Remember this creature's perpetually... No. We're going to go to 5. More lands. Not quite what we wanted, but okay. Man Tower. How do we do this here? Okay. Play that. Gain a life. Okay. Is there anything else we can do here that helps us out? Is there anything else we can do here to survive? Or are we done? Dang. Maybe not... I don't know. Trying here. Okay. Olivia coming in. But... we will do this, so at least we can buy ourselves time. Even Interrupter. Okay. Okay, so we plot her away. Phew. Okay. So she's at least gone for a turn. And we gain life back. Trying. Opponents. Anything else? Okay, we do get in life. So are we swinging opponent or are we holding back? We swing, of course. Okay, so ideally... Okay, so... Ugh. This is going to be really painful. But also we cannot afford to have this thing keep doing shenanigans. So we're actually going to block with everything here. It's got to go. Okay, everything dies. Whew, okay. Sponging hits where we can, everyone. Do they add it back onto their spacecraft? The Markov Enforcer that's perpetually getting free goodies. Okay. Sparring Regiment. Okay, Paradigm. Even though we're drawing a lot of extra cards, we're still getting nothing but lands. So that's been the frustrating part for us. I guess Bajuga Bog. So exiles their stuff here. So at least none of those are coming back. Okay. Ink-shaped Demonstrator. And then, dang. Are we dead next turn? I mean, a Feat of Resistance isn't horrible. Okay, Olivia coming back for a cheap cost, but she doesn't really get a chance to do much. Alright, Inkship Demonstrator trying to do its thing. Put a counter on it. On red. Okay. So at least it's protected now. Although the Gravliner can still get through. That's the unfortunate part. Bloody Betrayal. Oh, they took our card. Dang. Okay, well, that's pretty much game. I mean, even if we block here, that's still game. Can't block here. Can't block there. Man. No. Okay. Okay. So let me do one more game, everyone. One more game. The last one here is going to be the final one for today, everyone. Win or lose. No matter what happens here, this is going to be it. Okay. We're locking it in. We're hoping we get one more win today, everyone. I really, really hope we can grab that today. The deck, honestly, can do fun stuff. But I, of course, now have comments now that we played it a little bit more. If anybody's curious, I really don't take the time to actually test all my decks. I kind of just throw stuff together. But considering that I build anywhere between 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 decks a week, that's a little exhausting. But we're going to try. We're going to try one more time here. Hopefully, this will be the one, everyone. Locking it in. All right, let's do this. Yeah, all right, okay. Feeling it for this one. Okay, ooh, we got the Shelter by Ghost. That's good. Good spot removal. Astral Flourish for more protection. Okay. Fixing here, good with Urborg. We'll play first off here, Mother of Runes. Opponent's playing Momo. That's cute, by the way. Okay, Momo coming on turn 1. Of course. That. We'll play the Urborg. For here, play the Cleric class. No attacks yet. So Momo here makes their flyers cheaper. Okay. Gotta find a way around that, but we'll see. Okay, opponent. Dawnwing Marshal. Okay. Oh, gets a little bit of extra bump. And swings. Okay. Another planes, which is good. We will play Abigale. And pass. So at least with Mother of Runes, we are protected for a little bit. Not by much, but we're going to try to see if we can make this all work. So hopefully the plan now is Cleric class will be what we want to get once we actually get the Sheltered by Ghost down. Okay, opponent. Princess takes flight. So what do they try to exile? I mean, Mother of Runes kind of protects the whole plan, so... Protection from white. I don't know if our opponent knows how Mother of Runes works, but that helps us out a ton. That was a big hit in our favor. Oh, opponent! They already gave up? Okay. Well, I did say we'll take one more. Not a fancy one, but hey, it is a win, so we will be ending it there, everyone. Okay. Any case, so that does lead us now to the final part that we're going to get to here now. So that was basically our silverquill deck, everyone, being prepared in the Brawl format. So you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play these decks in any way, shape, or form? Okay. We'll, of course, get the Loxodon, elephant, if you will, out of the room. So the budget deck can do stuff. Well, I guess we'll say it that. It's a deck. It's not the best deck, but I think also because I made it so restrictive and cheap that it feels like it was a little bit maybe too restrictive for us to actually get anything to go off. So if you like at least this, it's a super cheap deck if you, again, want to put it together, but definitely you don't have to go as restrictive as I did, unless if you're trying to put together something that's super on theme. So take that how you will. There is definitely a deck that has potential in here. So if you actually want to do that, again, there's plenty of other cards you can play around with here. But obviously the upgraded one, no surprise, actually was able to do stuff. So that's actually good. Some of the cards that I would recommend, or at least adjust, really kind of depends on which way you want to take Abigale. So if you want to go the Magecraft level with like some of the stuff we've seen from previous Strixhaven, that's cool. If you actually instead want to go in the route of, I don't know, just creatures and then recasting just her one singular ability, you could do that as well. If you want to go the +1/+1 counter route, we have cards for that, like Graduation Day, really good card. If you want to go the go wide route with tokens, I mean, you could do that as well with Anointed Procession. Felidar Retreat is going to be definitely an all-star for a deck like this, if you want to focus on those two things, which is actually kind of unique for at least the black-white combo. Because normally when you think of counters and tokens, it's usually like something in green. Just an FYI, but it actually does provide for you something different with these color combinations, which I actually would recommend if you want to play around with that. Dramatic Finale, man, I really wanted this card to go off, but we just didn't get a chance to do it in this deck. So if you actually want to go the token route, throw it in there. For the way our deck was, which was a little bit of a pile, maybe you probably could have cut that one, so FYI. Otherwise, I mean, we didn't get too many wins with this, but I feel like, yeah, our plan was a little bit all over the place. So I would say if you're going to play with Abigale, pick a lane. You can either make her Voltron style, go with life gain, +1/+1 counters. The token plan is more like a third option if you want to do that, but I still like the token option as like a backup plan. So play with it how you will. There's definitely options you can make with Abigale here if you actually do like what she's doing. Flying creatures like birds, again, +1/+1 counter stuff, being able to then use Magecraft, whatever you can. You saw, at least in the first game, that was probably our best and most powerful way we were able to show you how the deck can go off in theory. Having said all that, before we go for today, we also do want to say, of course, for those of you that stuck around this far, thanks again for being my true fire friends and always being a supporter of the channel, everyone. So for that, to give you an idea of what's coming up for tomorrow morning, so I just need to do a quick more last-minute recordings for this one, but this one should be good to go here. We got, of course, our Prismari Storm deck that I'm ready to have go off here. So we, of course, have the budget one and the upgraded one you just saw for a moment there, but otherwise it's pretty much good to go. One thing I will probably have to make a little annotation of for the video itself is one of the lands actually spiked a lot more than I thought, so probably might want to cut these later on, but I'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. Otherwise, beyond that, we do have, of course, our Lessons deck in Silverquill, so we're definitely going to do at least one budget deck for them. We have a Pest Control deck, so that's going to be our Witherbloom Livestream deck. We still need to build the other ones out for the remaining schools, but we are going to get those done. We still have some basically decks that I also want to get around to. A Killian and a Greta deck are most likely what we're going to do, but I'll see when I can get time to actually record those as well. But overall, that's pretty much going to be it, everyone. Once we get to the end of the month, and that's going to be a rough one over the early part of the summers. Once we get to the Marvel cards, we'll see how that goes. I'm still not sure how I want to tackle that because it just feels like it's a topic that is not going to get that many views, but we'll cover that in the future. In any case, that's going to be it for today, everyone. I got to take care of now some other things, some other big boy things away from my live stream. But thank you one more time to everyone that was here with me in the stream today. So again, shout outs to, again, all of you that were here. Dan Splendid, of course, for popping in as well. Oscar Hokham, thank you again for being there. Bond and Cart 64, thanks again. Noobishly Foolish, also appreciate you. And also Chris Santogo, also appreciate you guys also being here today. And everyone that's been here, whether you've been watching or lurking, whether across X, Instagram, Twitch, or YouTube, I appreciate every single one of you guys. So thanks again always for being true fire friends and always being my supporters, everyone. With that, that is now it for today, everyone. So my final thing I'm just going to say right now is have a wonderful, wonderful Friday and weekend, everyone. We'll have a chance to get the juices again in another several days. But again, stick around for the upcoming next deck tech, which should be going out tomorrow morning. But until then, everyone, I do want to leave you with one final thing before we go. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again next week, everyone. Later.